Hi YouTube, this is Taydro.
Dadro.
This is Dadro and Taydro, and we're coming at you with a YouTube video.
Right on.
A Q&A. You guys had a lot of questions for Dadro.
I'm ready.
First question, kind of important, kind of a big one. Tea or coffee?
Hands down, coffee.
Ditto. How did you feel about your daughter live streaming full time?
I felt really good about it because I kind of pushed her into it. Told
He
her,
did,
yeah,
actually.
I'm happy she's doing it and she made the right choice and she's obviously very successful.
Thank you.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I think the first time I ever saw my dad and mom kind of like bicker in front of me was about live streaming. My mom wanted me to work a 9-to-5 job and my dad was like, quit your 9-to-5. Your Twitch is doing well. What are you doing?
Yep, that's true.
Because I was on the fence about it.
So I made the suggestion. You didn't know what to do and I said, look, Twitch is good to you. Do Twitch and drop everything else and go full bore into it. 100%. Coffee.
Cheers. How do I say happy and motivated?
Happy and motivated.
Yeah.
I think it's just, it's not a good question to ask yourself. That's me. I don't think you should wake up in the morning asking yourself, I need to be happy or I need to be motivated. Get your eyes off yourself and get your eyes on other people, get your eyes on life. And the reason I say that is because if you're always saying, how do I make myself happy? How do I motivate myself? Just by asking that question, you're trying to quantify your happiness and you're trying to measure it. And I think this minute you begin to do that, you lose the zest for life, just the spontaneity of life.
That's actually a good way to look at that. I don't think I woke up say, how do I stay happy? That's when you're going through a hard time and there's a lack of motivation, there's a lack of happiness.
How do you get back to it?
Yeah.
Stay in the day. Don't get outside of the day. Don't think about tomorrow and don't think about yesterday. It's that thing about living in the moment. You have to do it. You have to try to live in the moment. Yeah. That takes a lot of yesterday away and takes a lot of tomorrow away.
Yeah.
Takes the demand off of you.
I think they say like when you worry about yesterday, you're worrying. And when you're worrying about the future, that's like anxiety, like you're giving into anxious thoughts. Live in your moment. I like that answer. That is that's a good answer,
agree.
Dad. I like that. Why is Taylor the way she is?
Ooh, boy, that's a good one. You got me.
Got a lot to unpack there.
God made her that way. When she was growing up, her and her brother and us, we clowned around a lot. I mean, it was like, we didn't take life serious. I joked around with the kids. I did silly stuff. Really is something I think parents should do with their kids. When
we were kids, we would sit at the dining table. We would burp and mom's a lady.
Yeah, right.
But we would just burp and fart at the dinner table growing up. We had dinner as a family, but we didn't have like teach you the rules of dining.
Yeah, we weren't straight-laced and all that refined stuff. Yeah. No way.
But you'll see that if you ever eat dinner across from me, you'll see that come out in a restaurant now.
You see it in your screen.
I don't have any table manners. Still a messy eater. What's your favorite memory of just you and Taylor?
It was a trip to Tennessee to the Smoky Mountains, and I love nature. I know Taylor loves nature. I absolutely love running water. Creeks, streams, babbling brooks. That stuff is awesome to me. We went to Pigeon Forge. We took some hiking trails. We took this 3-mile one way, it was a 6-mile round trip, walking trail up to this waterfall, which we didn't find at first.
Yeah, we thought we got to it, but then there was a better one like further. Yeah. We almost turned around.
We almost turned around and missed it all. Yeah. But it was worth it once we got there.
Yeah, totally.
That whole hike, there is a babbling brook and you can hear it and you can see it. It's absolutely gorgeous. We just took our time and spent at least 2 hours going up and 2 hours coming back. I treasure that. I treasure it. Man, I treasure that.
I do too.
It's gonna make me cry almost.
I remember you appreciating that river running through, and I think that even more so refined my appreciation for running water, watching you appreciate it.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that's also a memory for me.
Good.
From a different perspective. Make sure your dad knows I love him.
I love you too.
What are you most proud of Taylor for?
Her heart, her love, her genuine Her genuine love for people. It's a beautiful thing to behold. And if I go any further, I'll keep crying.
We cannot do this.
Yeah.
Could live. Oh, let me gather myself. Oh, if you could live anywhere in the world, where would you choose?
That's a toughie because I haven't seen the whole world. I have seen southern Germany. And my younger brother and my older brother-in-law, we took a trip to southern Germany and traveled all over the Bavarian. A week we were there, and it was beautiful, and I so enjoyed that. That's kind of my heritage. That's kind of where my ancestors are from. It's got beautiful countryside, a lot of history. I would probably choose that if I had to not be anywhere in the United States.
I didn't expect that answer. I didn't expect you to say that.
You know, if I could take all my family there, you know, everything's the same. I'd have to have the same people.
People pick up and put in
There you
Germany.
go.
There
Right.
you go. What is the best things you learned or are learning in life?
That life is temporary. This is true of the last 10, 11 months of my life. This life is temporary. This is not our home. And it's got a lot of pain. It's got a lot of heartbreak in it. The beauty is it's not our home. We have another home. And that gives me joy to be able to stand up to whatever this life dishes out. It's a eternal joy, and that eternal joy always triumphs over the darkness. I've known this for many years, but not like the last 10 months because of my son passing away. It's really come home to my heart, kind of exploded in my heart. How it's held in my heart now. It's just got more impact on me now. So that's kind of what I've learned. What about you?
It's not about me.
I know. I knew you were going to say that.
I never say that. What do you mean it's always about me?
It is.
That was a good answer, though. That was very beautifully worded.
Oh, thanks.
From 1 to 10, how messy am I?
Well, now you're probably, you're low, 2, 3. But when she was growing up, now 9 or 10, you were very, very
It was
messy.
a mess. Mom would always say that I lived in a pigsty, and she would say, please keep your door shut if you're gonna keep your room messy.
Her room was a pigsty, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was mostly just clothes all over the floor. My closet would just blow up in my room somehow. Like one time I passed out, but I had a soft landing to the floor because I had clothes all over the floor.
Oh my.
This is a big one that they're gonna want to hear. Can you tell the snail and turtle joke?
Sure, I'll tell it. I gotta back up a little bit because when you tell this, you gotta really have some space, you know?
The camera.
All right, so what did the snail say as he was riding on the turtle's back?
What did the snail say as he was riding on the turtle's back?
The snail said, as he was riding on the turtle's back.
I'll add in like some audience laughing noise. I haven't heard that one a million times.
I've never told that the second time.
Really good one, Dad.
Yeah.
Did you come up with that one yourself?
Just now, I came up with that.
Clever. You prefer that people shoot straight with you or temper their words?
Shoot straight.
How did Taylor surprise you when she was a toddler?
This will get into why you're doing Twitch now.
Oh.
It's something I observed.
Really?
Yes, and you probably remember this, but you had the phone that rings on a tabletop, you know. You were probably like 2, maybe 3. And it was the first time I witnessed this. The phone rings, she just goes up and answers the phone and begins to talk to some stranger. I don't know who it was. You just sat there and talked, and just, Mom and I stood there, didn't know who it was, and you're just carrying on a conversation. That's just who you were, I guess.
Wow.
You're just like bold like that. Yeah,
That's
that
funny.
was the beginning of your Twitch right there.
How has your perspective on streaming changed over time?
I'm gonna have to address from your perspective, not everybody's streaming, just from what I know about you. At first, I just saw it as she was entertaining and very funny and really good at what she does. But then I started to see something else. I started to see somewhat of a ministry. Her heart comes out and she just really is there for people, loves on people. She doesn't want people to hurt. In any way she can make people not hurt, that's what she does. If it's to laugh, to say something weird, to wake up in the morning and stream for an hour when she doesn't want to, she'll do it. Just to bring some light to people. That's kind of how I've seen a transformation in your Twitch.
That was a sweet answer. What do you think about that viral clip?
Well, I liked it. I mean, It seemed to go over well with everybody. The most amazing thing to me was on that clip that has 1 million or 2 million views, I would read the comments. And I was stunned, just stunned at the comments, how it touched them, how they really genuinely thought it was wholesome and good. And some people said they were tearing up and made them happy. That's what made me feel good about it.
Yeah, I read all the comments, like all the comments, and there were like thousands of comments.
Yeah,
I read almost every single one of them. They were very touching.
Yeah, they were.
What's the key to raising such an amazing, loving, and caring daughter? I'm trying to raise one. Thank you, Kat. You're cute.
Hi, Kat.
That's cute.
Yeah, that's a good question. When they're young, my advice is to have fun with your kids. Invest your time with them. Don't be straight-laced. Cut up. Get goofy. Get weird. Do the fun stuff. Do the weird things. But most of all, spend time with your kids. Those formative years are the most important years. And when they start reaching 12, 13, they get in their teens, everybody goes through it. You get that rebellion.
I was a brat. I was a brat. I know I was.
Yeah, you were. The rebellion for you was low key. If you invest in those formative years, you'll get the rebellion, but the rebellion's muted. You know, it's not nearly as bad. I think there's more child-parent respect because you were there for them all those formative years and had fun and goofed around. It was an investment, but it's a fun investment, you know?
Where do you want to be in 5 years?
I don't give it any thought. The same place I am now. I mean, I don't have goals in life. I don't strive for things. I mean, there are things if a person has enough money, there's things you would do differently in life, but I don't think about those things. I don't strive for that. I'm kind of like just happy where I'm planted and just have joy where I'm at, stay in the day, that's kind of what I try to do.
I feel like that'll be very reassuring to a lot of people that might be watching because I think we're just in a goal-driven environment. We are like programmed to come up with goals and to have something to obtain. It absolutely takes you out of like the little joys of the day, like the little things that you should be like romancing or taking joy in because you're just always striving, yeah. And you just stay in a state of striving forever. Like, when do you finally get to enjoy your success? And when do you finally get to enjoy your cup of coffee in the morning when you're waking up and rushing out the door? And I think that'll be very humbling to hear, to be old. to be old and to still be like, I don't know what I want. I have no idea. Like, here, like, we're some young kids and we don't know what we want, but like, even as you get older, it's okay to not know what you want because he's happy.
I don't even have a job right now.
Thanks, COVID.
Yeah, thanks, COVID. If you're always looking to the future and looking to like reach for something, you can't be where you are and just enjoy what you have at that moment. If you have that mindset of reaching for things, it's a trap. Don't get caught in that trap.
That's not to say like be lazy with it or like not do anything. Like still like work your job, guys.
Yeah, don't sit on the sofa and eat bonbons.
You're given $1 million. What's the first thing you buy?
Oh, now we're talking. Now we got some goals.
We got some goals. Things have changed. We believe in goals now.
It's all different now. Forget what I said. The very first thing I would do, no question in my mind, is I'd find a piece of land, a big piece of land, and with $1 million, I'd find a creek on it. My running water would be there. After that, I don't care. I mean, if I just had that, could just drive my truck out there and just fish in it or walk it or drive a tractor on it or
build a little house.
Build maybe a house that the money stretches. Yeah. All that, but that is a pipe dream.
Funny story. Pants.
Yeah. So when I was about a sophomore, junior in high school, it was a Monday morning and we were getting ready for school, and I'd sleep as late as I could. Up till like 15 minutes before the bus would come, I would get up and get dressed. And so this morning I got up and I had my shirt on, had my shoes ready to go, but I didn't have any pants to wear and like 2 pair of jeans. That was it. I know I had worn them that weekend and they were dirty and they were in the basket or in the washing machine or whatever. So I ran downstairs, ran into the basement. We had clotheslines in the basement. So I'm down in the basement looking for a pair of jeans. I didn't care where they were. I don't care if they were in the dirty clothes basket. I was gonna pull them out all wrinkled and wear them. Couldn't find them, didn't know where they were. So I go to the clothesline to look for them. There's clothes hanging on the clothesline. Couldn't find them. I'm looking all over. And all of a sudden I hear, this is how we did it back in this day, in the day. Somebody would just yell bus. And when somebody yelled bus, you had about 90 seconds to get it together and get out front to catch the bus. So they yelled bus, and I had 90 seconds left. And I was in my underwear, and I'm like panicking. I'm looking for a pair of pants to wear. I've got a lot of sisters. I've got 10 sisters. So there were a lot of pants hanging on the clothesline. And I grabbed one pair that kind of looked okay. And it was a pair of purple corduroy pants. And I just pulled them off the line, put them on, put my shoes on, ran out and caught the bus. That was the most humiliating day of my life. I caught hell from right at the bus stop. My brother gave me the hardest time. I got a younger brother. He just laughed his ass off. The pants didn't even fit right. They were kind of tight on me too. I had to go through the whole school day wearing these tight purple corduroy pants. Early 80s, everybody wore jeans to school. Nobody wore slacks or sweats or anything like that. Everybody had jeans on, so I stuck out like a purple corduroy pant wearer. And everybody gave it to me all day. Most humiliating day of my life. But I can laugh about it now. And my brother still gives me a hard time about it.
Does he?
Yeah.
What do you think is holding Tay back from breaking the 10-minute mile barrier? Okay.
Oh my gosh. Have y'all ever run behind Taylor? If you haven't seen it, I'm gonna describe it to you. You would crack up if you could see it. Her foot goes out like this and then comes around and kind of moves forward. It's like a circular, it's like wax on, wax off. It's funny. Well, if your foot goes out 2 feet and forward 1 foot, if you could reverse that ratio and go 1 foot out and 2 feet forward, I think you would cut that 14-minute mile down to 10 minutes.
If you were stuck between a mountain of ice cream and a hill of asparagus, which would you climb?
There's no question. Logically, I would take the asparagus because you would be able to grip onto the little stems. Ice cream, you're not gonna get anywhere. So I like to go places when I climb. So ice cream is out.
Have you ever won a trophy or an award?
Yeah, but it's not worth even mentioning it.
I'm a loser too.
Got some participation awards too.
And give me your best pickup line.
Well, I think pickup lines are corny. I would go with something very, very cringy and corny. If you were a new burger at McDonald's, they would call you the McGorgeous.
How'd you pick up Mom?
Oh boy, that was not a pickup line. That was we were in I was in a bar, a club. Bar sounds bad. It was a
club sounds better?
It does, a little bit. She was standing in front of me and she was wearing jeans. Mom had a nice figure, okay? And I was standing next to a friend of mine and we were just looking at part of her figure. And my friend dared me to pinch her in the butt. I had a few too many drinks and pinched her in the butt. And she said later, she turned around and she was gonna slap me, but she said I was too cute. She couldn't do that. So we went and danced, and the rest is history. The rest is history.
All right, let's not touch me after that. Coffee break.
It reaches a point where you can't really tweak it.
What's your favorite Bible verse?
Oh man, that's a great question. Whoever asked this question, I just want to say it's an honor to be asked this question, and it's an honor to answer it. And so whoever asked this question, I want to know yours as well. I know it's in Galatians. It's written by the Apostle Paul, and it says, I am crucified with Christ. Nevertheless I live, yet not I, but Christ liveth in me. And the life that I now live in the flesh, I live by the faith of the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. That's my favorite.
That's a real good one. Nice. What's your favorite movie?
Oh, my favorite movie is by far Shawshank Redemption. Love that movie. I like happy endings still. It has a great ending. The whole movie is fantastic. If you haven't seen it, watch it. You won't be disappointed.
I don't know if I've watch that one.
Oh, you gotta see it.
Most important advice you could give someone in their 20s or 30s?
Don't take yourself serious. Don't take life serious. You can drown in it. Go through life, just drink it in. Again, back to day by day, live your life because you don't know what tomorrow brings. And if you're thinking always about tomorrow, you can't live in today. So, and don't think about yesterday, wipe it out. It no longer exists. Don't be hard on yourself. Man, especially in this world, don't be hard on yourself. This world's got enough stuff to contend with without us then bearing down on ourselves. We all need to knock it off. I don't mean to sound terse. What's the word?
Here's it being perfervid.
Hey, I'm perfervid about my coffee.
Is he having any more kids?
That's a big no.
A big fat no.
Big fat no. For the first time, face to face, properly thank the Taydro family for what you did for my family during a very difficult time when my son passed away last March. You people have big hearts. You're beautiful people, and I thank you. And if you weren't around in Taylor's stream last March, that's okay. I thank you too. I thank you for just supporting my daughter and being a part of her family, because this is true. If you're a part of her family, you're a part of my family. And I mean that from my heart. I have to thank those. And you know who you are back in March and what you did. Thank you. And I'm gonna leave it there. Watch it not have recorded.
All right, that wraps it up for this YouTube video. Dad, thanks for being in the video and sharing your heart with us today.
Enjoyed it. Peace, guys. I love y'all.
Love you guys.
Peace out.
From Taydro and
Dadro. Got it that time. Jellyfish it. Jellyfish it.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
You tell us a dad joke.
I'd ever tell you the story about the old two boys that live up the road, old JR and Billy Bob?
No, I never heard
Those two
JR
boys.
and Billy Bob.
Those two boys, they got themselves into a mess last Friday night. They jumped on their riding lawnmower, those two old boys, and headed on up into town, down the gravel road here. Went up to Evelyn's Cafe to get themselves a couple of her chicken dinners. She's famous for her chicken dinners, you know.
Chicken dinners.
Yeah. They go on up into town and get up to Evelyn's Diner, and they park out front. They walk on in the joint. They grab themselves a table. Right next to their table, as they were sitting there enjoying their chicken dinner, there was this lady from the city. She was very well dressed. She had a pantsuit on, high heels. She was all dialed up, dressed to the nines, you know. I guess even the city folk know where to go to find a good chicken dinner, you understand? So she was just sitting there eating her chicken dinner. The boys were right next to her eating their chicken dinners. Everything was fine. When all of a sudden, the lady just bolts up out of her chair and grabs her throat. She was choking, and she was choking, I think, on a chicken bone, okay? So she was standing there choking. Nobody in the joint knew what to do, and it was deadly quiet in there. All that clinking from the knives and forks hitting the chicken dinner plates stopped. It was dead silence. So the lady standing there choking, her face is flush red. Nobody knew what to do except Billy Bob.
Oh, Billy Bob.
Billy Bob knew what to do.
True hero.
He was that day. He just rose up from his chair, calmly walked over to the lady, got right behind her, dropped down on his knees right behind her buttocks, ripped her pants down, ripped her panties down, and then licked her buttocks. Can you believe that? Did you hear what I just said? He licked her buttocks, okay? Well, the lady, you can imagine, she was so shocked and so appalled by what just happened to her. she had some type of gag reflex in her throat, and that chicken bone just spit on up out of her mouth, and she was fine. She went to breathing okay, and the color came back in her face, and she was just fine. She pulled up her panties, pulled up her britches, and just sat right on back down and went to town on her chicken dinner. Well, old Billy Bob just walks calmly on back to his chair and sits down and starts eating his chicken dinner. Well, old JR is just looking at this whole thing. He's not knowing what he just saw. And JR turns to Billy Bob and says, "Billy Bob, what was that?" And Billy Bob turns to JR and he says, "JR, you must be the dumbest son of a bitch in this place. Everybody in this joint knows what they just saw, but I'm gonna educate you. What you just saw right there, what you just witnessed me do, that's called the hind lick maneuver."
Man, Bill Bob don't have a lick of sense in him, huh?
None whatsoever.
There you go, a live dad joke.
There you go.
From the Dad Joke King.
That's as good as it gets.